Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to Tom Spark Reviews. Today I'm doing a review of this chair. It's called the Secretlab 2020 Titan. Now, I have a lot of experience with office chairs. I've been working from home for around 7 years or so, and in that entire time, I've tried out some of the biggest office chairs out there. I've tried out the Steelcase Leap, not only the Steelcase Leap, but the first generation V1 and V2. I've also tried out the Steelcase Jester as well, the Herman Miller Aeron, and I've tried out the Herman Miller Embody 2. I've also tried out a DX Racer as well. So I have a pretty good experience with high-end ergonomic chairs and all different types of chairs. So I think that does kind of give me a unique basis here for the review. Also guys, as I'm doing this review, I am not sponsored or affiliated with Secretlab. I think I do want to become an affiliate for them and I've requested access, but as of right now, I am not an affiliate or a sponsor and my opinions are completely my own. So going into that, let's get into the review. So guys, in this review, I'm not gonna go over each feature by feature in terms of that, because you've probably watched a couple other reviews or seen the ads themselves. In this review, I'm gonna be talking about my personal experience and some of the nitpicky things I noticed about the chair, whether I like them or dislike them. One of the first things I wanna talk about is I think that this chair, more so than my ergonomic office chairs, has more of a nice kind of casual experience, especially for editing stuff on my computer and for playing games. With my ergonomic chairs, they feel a lot more studious. And with this chair, I could kind of be editing something and kind of lean back like this, which is really comfortable, especially with that pillow. I could also kind of sit more like this, kind of a more relaxed manner. There's also different ability to kind of customize how far back you want to go. So I could even kind of chill like this. And I think one of the advantages of office chairs is that people talk about is how they have such good versatility in the movement of the chair and the ergonomics presented. The Steelcase Leap kind of opens up like this. It kind of goes like this and moves out the front, whereas this chair is kind of more like this. I do think that those chairs have an advantage for that, but I think there's so much more positions and different setups you could do to sit in this chair that I do think it actually encourages movement pretty good. That's a complaint I've seen about this chair, is that it restricts movement because you're in the same position most of the time, but in my experience I found that wasn't the case. That's because you could kind of lock it and stay in a pretty studious kind of way, kind of like this. There's not really anything going on there, but you can also unlock it and kind of have a little bit more tilt going on. So I do think there's plenty of room for different seating, and you can also sit on your foot and stuff like that. So I actually like the amount of variability that I could sit in this chair and the way I could sit in it, not only in the recline, but just kind of going like this or locking it and kind of staying like this as well. Additionally, I kind of did want to talk about the lumbar support, and I'll be showing you some B-roll here. I actually think the lumbar support on the 2020 Titan is very nice. It's really comfortable, and it's definitely something that fits good on me. I've seen that the 2022 has a more adjustable lumbar support. However, the 2020 Titan is the lumbar support supposed to be pretty good for people over 5'9". I'm 6'2", and it's actually really nicely put. And I kind of like how I don't have the complexity of trying to figure out the right spot. It seems the right spot for me, and I like adjusting it here and there depending on how much support I need. And I actually find the button quality is really nice, and it's very easy to adjust that lumbar support. A lot of people say that the high-end ergonomic chairs are much easier to adjust and just have more quality, but I actually find that the Secretlab chair is easier to adjust the lumbar support for me. With the Steelcase Leap, you can't really adjust the lumbar support so much. You can kind of increase the hardness of it, which this kind of does, and you can kind of move it up and down, but it's very finicky and gets stuck and kind of loses its place a lot. So I do think the lumbar support here, what it is offered and how it works, is actually really nice and very comfortable for my back, and that's a huge thing that I think is an advantage over other chairs like DX Racer I've tried in the past. You could put this completely flat if you want to, but you can really tell how much more comfortable it is once you give it a little bit of a lumbar curve, and I really like that about this chair. And in fact, I think out of everything of this chair, the most comfortable part probably is the back, which I'll kind of talk about some of the cons right now. Now, I think when sitting in this chair, I do have a couple issues after sitting in it for a while. Usually it kind of happens within 1 to 2 hours. The longer I sit in the chair, more of these issues kind of start to pop up. I've noticed that I tend to like sitting in the chair with my legs pretty close together. The reason is because the side of the chair does have a slight upward tilt to it, and in some ways when I sit on that part after a while, it could kind of dig into my legs a little bit. I know that other chairs have more of a raised edge to them than this one, but I do think having that slight raised edge does kind of get in the way sometimes. I do like how wide the seat panel is, and I've heard kind of conflicting reports about which is wider, either the 2020 model of the Secretlab Titan or the 2022. So whatever the case is, I do like the width of it, but I do feel like the raised edges still kind of bother my legs sometimes after long extended sessions. But it's not that big of a deal. Additionally, if my legs sit together for a long period of time, I do kind of feel a little bit of uncomfortableness around my testicles. I do have pretty long legs, and I'm a pretty big guy, but I'm not like chubby or anything like that. But it's just something I kind of noticed when sitting in this chair a little bit more than some of my ergonomic chairs. Maybe because the chair is more flat, where some of the other chairs have more of a slightly ergonomic curve or something like that to them. Another thing I noticed about the chair is that, it's really solidly built. I've heard other people talk about this in other reviews, but I also think that it's something to kind of mention in terms of a con. It's really kind of a heavy chair and can be hard to kind of scoot forward. As you can see here, I kind of have to really kind of scoot it. It's not a big deal, but it's just something I kind of noticed when going into my desk. And another thing is at the bottom of the chair, the upraised edges of the seat kind of coaster thing, they do kind of feel kind of sharp, and you could kind of bonk your foot on it sometimes. I kind of wish they had gone for more of a curved thing down there to make it less sharp and so you wouldn't bonk your feet on it. Another thing that I did personally to my chair is I actually did take the armrests off. I thought they were pretty decent quality and everything like that, but I personally find office chairs more ergonomic if you just have your arms kind of laying at a 90-degree angle, and usually armrests kind of get in the way, kind of bonking your desk if you want to turn or get close as you want. I've found that to be an issue with other chairs as well, and this one doesn't really solve that issue. So I kind of just took the armrest off. However, I do like how easy they are to take off, and it's harder to take off armrests for some other chairs. I never really figured out how to do it on my ergonomic chairs, so I really like how this chair made it easy to just unscrew the armrest, and it's perfectly fine without them. I have no issues with it, so that's perfectly good in my opinion. I also kind of like how the chair has a little bit of a curve here. If you kind of put your arms like this, it kind of feels like they're kind of hugged by the sides of the chair, which I actually quite like. Another thing I want to talk about is the pillow. I wasn't sure I'd really use the pillow or like it that much, but I've found that it actually stays on pretty good when put to the tightest setting, and it's pretty comfortable to put your head on when leaning back like this. It's a pretty nice cushy material, and honestly, it's pretty nice, especially when I'm doing long editing sessions, or if you want to lean back slightly like this, it's pretty nice and relaxing. I usually don't stay in this position too long because it does kind of cut into the area kind of around your knees on the chair, but if you're watching a movie and putting your foot up on something, I could see it being pretty comfortable for something like that even. One thing I do like also about the chair is kind of the overall build quality. Like I said, the lumbar support has this nice grippiness to it. The seat handle itself feels very high quality and has even little kind of grippy parts for you to grip it with your hand. Also, overall, the construction of the chair and building it was really nice. It's extremely well packaged, probably the best packaged chair I've seen out of any chair, even the office chairs I've gotten. The instructions are really good. It's pretty much an instruction poster, which is really nice. It made the chair super easy to set up. They also give you all the tools you need that feel pretty premium and pretty cool and packaged very nicely. So it's definitely kind of a nice premium unboxing experience that actually did impress me quite a bit, more so than I would say DX Racer. Overall, do I regret getting the Secretlab 2020 compared to the 2022? Well, I looked into the 2022 and I saw they're around $200 more expensive as of right now. With the 22 version, from what I could research, you get a magnetic pillow, you get the armrests that are more magnetic and kind of swappable, and it seemed like the adjustability of the lumbar going up and down was the main thing. For those three things, do I regret not getting the 2022? Well, I don't think so. I feel like this headrest works perfectly fine. It might look a little bit cooler with the magnetic one, but not a big deal to me. For me, I don't really actually need the armrest, so I don't really care about the magnetic feature there. And since I'm a pretty tall guy with the Secretlab 2020 Titan regular version, not XL, the lumbar support fits me fine. I've heard some things that maybe the seat is a little flatter on the 2022 one, which could be a good thing. But I also saw some people saying that they feel pretty much the same. Some people have said the 2022 is a stiffer and firmer chair. I find this one to be pretty firm already, but I can't really comment on that too much. I feel like this one's pretty firm and pretty nice, and overall people have said they don't really mind the firmness of either chair if they find the chair comfortable. In conclusion, do I regret getting this chair after purchasing some $900 to $1,400 value chair? I never actually paid that much. I got some of the chairs renewed and stuff like that, but do I regret getting this chair when compared to those ones? I see a lot of people on Reddit saying Secretlab is not a good brand and they overmarket the chair as being more comfortable than it really is, but actually in my experience I've found it to be pretty damn comfortable. Some people might say, don't waste your money on a gaming chair and just get a high-end ergonomic chair. However, I've had both and I find that they both have their own advantages. I've actually been using this in my videos for the last week or so, and we'll have to see in the future how I stick with it. As of right now, I'm pretty happy with it, and I find that I actually prefer sitting in it than my high-end expensive ergonomic chairs. I like how it feels like a more gamer experience. I have a lot more seating arrangements I could do. I could kind of do something like this and kind of have a really nice low-key editing environment. I can't really sit like this in my office chair. It's usually just kind of more like this or something. And lots of times it hurts my neck. But so far with this chair, I haven't really noticed any pain with my back or my neck, which is really good. With my steel case or with my Herman Miller M body, I would get a lot of back pain because I'd find the lumbar support wasn't too good. I didn't really get any neck pain. However, with my steel case Leap, I found I didn't get any back pain, but I got a lot of neck pain. For some reason, this chair, I think with a different arrangement of positions I could sit in, I've managed to negate both so far. However, like I said, I did get some uncomfortable feeling in my balls after sitting in the chair for multiple hours, probably due to that it's a little flatter and my legs are kind of squished together more. If there's one complaint I could have, it would probably be the seat just being even more flat. I know other traditional racing chairs have even more of a raised edge, which is probably more annoying. However, I kind of wish this bottom seating panel was even flatter, going on the sides without any edge at all. That would probably be my only complaint and something that probably could eventually be made into models. However, seeing how Secretlab has kind of sunset a lot of that design with some of the other brands of chairs they sell in the 2022 versions, I think with the smaller ones, it seems to see they realize that already. So guys, overall, that's my final thoughts on the Secretlab Titan 2020 review. I actually really like the chair and do plan on using it as my main chair right now. If I ever decide or they let me into their affiliate program, check in the description down below and click on my link to probably get some kind of discount or something like that. But just know this review was completely objective, unsponsored, and I haven't even talked to the company officially yet. So guys, thanks for checking out this one, and I'll see you again very soon.